I'll just go through what is the core difference that has emerged between ECC and S4HANA. So any one of you can answer. I think I have taken one or two people's demo here. I can see Priya, you're there in my demo session, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can tell me the difference. What is the difference between ECC and S4HANA?
Sir, ECC is a older version of SAP, and S4 HANA is the updated version.
Okay, fine. And excuse me for a second, don't call it SAP. See, SAP, call it SAP.
SAP.
Any abbreviated terminology, you have to always call it with SAP because why I'm exclusively saying it is SAP's birthplace is in Germany. Okay.
Okay.
And in German, SAP is called pig. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you speak to any of the consultant, because the land of this SAP where it evolved, if you by many of the times when you do some implementation projects, you get to speak people from there. So who speak German and all, they will get offended. So don't call it as SAP. Call it as SAP. Please continue, Priya. Yeah.
Sir, this is all what I can recall right now.
Oh,
Uh, yeah.
okay. Real time and ECC is the older one and S4HANA is the
Mm,
latest one. But
yeah.
so we all are humans, and that too, whenever we buy a new mobile phone, we expect a lot of features ranging from camera, performance, speed, and touch, and the sensor working like a proximity sensor or whatever the features. We all expect audio, advanced audio, or noise cancellations. We expect a lot of stuff, right? Do we expect or not? Same way, your SAP software, when they are launching the latest version of their ERP, so ECC is the older version of ERP and S4HANA is the latest version of ERP. Customers also will have a huge expectation, and SAP also will launch a new product only when there is a big tectonic shift, the shift in the design itself. See, I can launch a same upgrade version of it, right? I can just launch an update if there is a minor changes in the feature. What is that major thing that SAP has brought is they have launched their own database. See, whenever you buy ECC software, you always have to go with third party database softwares. Like, what are some of the third party database softwares? Like, Oracle DB, Microsoft DB, MSDB, and then, you can go with Sybase DB. These are some of the examples, right? The famous databases that are currently used in the market for ECC version of SAP. So whoever buys the SAP ECC software, they should also buy this database application, and then they can do the setup or activation of SAP software in the SAP software for any organization. But in SAP S4HANA, you don't have to go for third-party databases. SAP has their own database called SAP HANA. So what advantage can it bring, Priya? I think I highlighted in the demo. You can go through it. Priya, I remember you are a chartered accountant, right? If I'm not wrong.
Uh, yeah, sir, I have done my CA till inter.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So now, yes, I'm just recollecting, is it the same person or not? Yes, that's all.
Yeah.
So tell me.
Yes.
So I remember very keenly explaining this thing to you. Can you recollect
Yes.
what is the
Yes,
advantage
sir. Yes, sir.
that this database brings?
Hel-
Yeah, please go on. What advantage does this new database bring into SAP? You don't remember?
No, sir, not recalling.
I feel bad. This is my first class, so I excuse, okay? So
Yes, sir.
please write the points, whatever I'm explaining it to you, okay? So
Okay.
let me again walk through that. So basically, we are living in the age of data. So whichever application, whichever organization, they can deduce good reports by using the data, that company is thriving. And Priya, I remember I gave you the example of Amazon, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
how is Amazon different from other e-commerce companies? So you see many people selling their products on the e-commerce website. But how did Amazon make a difference? Amazon is just a marketplace where sellers will be selling their products and buyers will be buying the products, and Amazon is the integrator between both of them. So this integrator, what he or she, they a company, what they are cleverly doing is they are reading out your age, your gender, male or female, your previous search history, your previous order history, and your previous price range of the products you are searching for, and they will tailor made the next product that they suggest. Whenever you type for some example, you type for a mobile, if you have previously bought some iPhone, or you bought some range of products above 50,000, the next mobile that Amazon suggests will be definitely above 50,000. For example, if you buy for 10,000, so when I don't give a damn, any phone is a phone, so I'll just need it for dialing and receiving the messages. So I'll buy 10,000 phone. So whenever I next time search for the product, there is 100% suggestion that they will suggest me the products within that range, and they will also suggest me people also brought along with this. How they are doing this? That is what Amazon is made number one. That is what how Amazon has differentiated itself from other competitors. So they are analyzing the data, and if you see that, from our age old, our technology has taken the shapes of human lives. So the countries who are rich in the old days is like whoever produces lot of agri products, they are number one. And in good old days, you know which country was producing more agriculture related products, they used to be the top position. And next they have come up with the next the industry has taken a shift, and next we have come up with this industrial revolution. So the Britishers and whole this revolution what they have started entire world, industrial revolution. So the one who has the manufacturing capacity, they have become the large size companies. So they became the world's number one. And then after this was industry 2.0. So first one was agriculture, and then we had this industrial revolution. Next, the world has witnessed another revolution, computer revolution. The speed at which we used to perform our activities has like quadrupled, and all the companies income has gone up. And with the advent of computers, we have many software applications that are launched, and today one such software is your SAP ECC, which was a 3.0 industry related version, where you can record any data. We can record any data in the system. We can whatever the day to day business transactions are there, we can record and we can retrieve. But this is not enough for the next future revolution. The next future revolution is all about data and its analytics. So you need to perform analytics in order to take better business decisions, or taking right decision, or taking a decision sufficed with the proper logical reason. So whatever decision you take, it is very calculated, very accurate, and it is the most probable. See, business is one of the most improbable. No one can expect what happens tomorrow. But still, in that most inaccurate, you can make the accuracy. Now you might be thinking, okay, business is something different. It is more of sales driven or product pitching. You might be thinking, how can it bring a change in an ERP? How will it make a difference in uh, finance? I'm just recording the data. In the next version also, I'll be recording the data. What difference does it make as a finance person? How will it make difference? Your financial closings, your tasks, everything is automated. And it is said that in the industry, you have automated financial closings in S4HANA. It is going to reduce 35% of the time and cost. It is a very big reduction in cost. 35% reduction of financial closing time and cost. You will not lead to any penalties. Most of the times, what happens with the finance department is whenever you do some financial closing, and if you don't do it on time, and if you're not striking the correct data, your tax or your tax officer or whichever government you might be working for any country. So SAP, you will be using it is a global software. You will use it for all the countries, for all the activities across the organization. If it will help you in reducing the risk of slipping the deadlines for faster closing, and it will be easy to use. It will reduce the number of employees that are required to use the system. Apart from that, it offers a wonderful feature of analytics. You might have a difference now in mind. Why can't we perform analytics on ECC? Why can't we do it? Why only SAP S4HANA does the analytics? So your SAP ECC relies on this third-party databases, and this third-party databases have a drawback. They can either act as a OLTP database, that is online transaction processing, or they can act as OLAP, online analytical processing. So they can either act as this or this. They cannot perform both at the same time. This is the drawback. How they will extract the data? You might have heard about the ETL tools that are available in the market. ETL means extract, transform, and load. So any data or transactions, business transactions that is recorded in this databases is extracted using the ETL tools available in the market into another analytical database, and from there you use tools like Tableau, Power BI, you perform the operations, and finally you will get the analytical report. By the time you do all this stuff, it will take 2 weeks to prepare the report based on the business requirement. You are already 2 weeks late. So whatever the data you analyzed, it is 2 weeks old data. And with this 2 weeks old data, now you're taking a business decision. And businesses are so competitive today. If your business decision is already late by 2 weeks, your competitor will take the next step. So you don't have to wait this long. In SAP S4HANA, just at a click of a button, that is what SAP also publicizes it more. That is your real time. Just at a click of a button, you will have the analytics reports ready. How beautiful it is going to be. It is going to make the life of the business very easy. But now here it comes as a challenge for us. Now industry, if you take the top global top 2000 companies, all this 97% of the companies, they use SAP product, and they are still in the ECC version, and they are in the process of migration. In the entire world, SAP has around some 4 lakhs 40,000 customers. That is a very big number. And out of them, many of them uses SAP ECC, and they also use SAP S4HANA. And both SAP is famous with the on-premise versions. Okay, it is available, ECC is available in on-premise, whereas SAP S4HANA is available in both on-premise, and it is also available on cloud. Now, to the people who are from non-technical background, I'll explain you what is the difference between on-premise and cloud. Suppose if you're buying a software and you are not installing that software in your laptop or in your organization, you are establishing a server. Okay, so you will buy a server system where all the people in that server system, you basically install the SAP, and you will ask your entire organization people to connect to that SAP system via internet. This is called on-premise system. Here you have to maintain the cyber security aspects for it. You have to ensure that it is up and running all the time. It is never down. There is performance is good, load balancing is good, and if there is a sudden requirement in increasing the space or size of the database or anything, your company has some issues with the connectivity. All these things you have to take the headache of managing it in your organization in on-premise version. Whereas when you have your cloud version, you in market you have so many third party cloud service providers. Like you might have heard about Amazon Web Services. Earlier in good old days, if I need a server system to install my application, suppose I bought SAP software, I need to install it in a system, right? So in good old days, I used to buy a server system and install in it, which has good capacity, and I used to connect remotely to that server to access the SAP application. But now you don't have to worry about that. In cloud versions, you don't have to maintain the server. Instead, you can simply, like Amazon, in Amazon, you will order a book or you will order a mobile phone. Same way, you can order a operating system, you can order a computer virtual machine on Amazon Web Services, saying that I need a Linux operating system with 250 GB RAM and 1 TB hard disk and with a 64-bit version, kindly generate. You can just place the order and pay the money, and the Amazon Web Service provider will give a link to connect to your server system, and where you can install all your applications and you can use it as a virtual system. So today we are living in the age of this virtual systems, and SAP S4HANA is also available in cloud versions. In cloud, we have two versions again. We have private cloud and we have public cloud. So these are the two versions we have. One is private. So let me write it down. Space issues. And then we also have public cloud version. So private cloud is same like your private space. So you buy a dedicated system virtually for yourself. There is no sharing. Like it's like you go to villa and entire villa you will own, and only your company specific installations can be done in that, or only you can stay in that villa. Same way, if you go for public cloud, it's like your apartment. It's like a sharing hostel based. Like your Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure or SAP Cloud or the Google Cloud, all these companies, they provide you the server. That server will also be shared with other vendors, other customers. Like for example, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, your Aramco, your Apple company, all these companies use SAP. Now, if all of them buy SAP product software, SAP doesn't know who is going to use the software. Same like your mobile phone. If someone has bought the mobile phone, they don't know who is going to use it. It doesn't know. So you have to give all your input details starting from your name, your user account, your initial setup has to be done. Same way, whenever you buy a SAP software for any organization, you have to do the initial setup. And that setup is done by your consultants. And how will these consultants do the initial setup? They will not know anything about any organization. Tomorrow, these consultants can work in any of the organizations. They can work for a manufacturing company. They can work for a oil and gas. They can work for a aerospace industry. They can work for any chemical industry, or they can work for any retail industry. They can work for any pharma industry, anything. This consultants can work in for any of these customers across the areas. And SAP is very widely used and very famously used in manufacturing. It is very famous for manufacturing, and it's not that it is not used in other areas. Manufacturing, pharma, and retail, it is very famous. And if there are more Indians in this, I see most of by the name, I see couple of them are from abroad. So only I'll give you an example. You all might be wondering, even the India Post, the government of India, where recently it stopped services of the inland letters. I think last Independence Day, I think they have celebrated the 50 years and they stopped that blue color letter. You see that they stopped that service. Now India Post is only giving speed post services for postal from post offices. If you think how, if you know, you will be surprised. India Post runs on SAP. India Post services all are running on SAP ERP. So this is a fact. You might be finding it funny, but yeah. So in SAP, if you take this, consultants are varied across multiple modules. The very famous modules that you hear is FI, you hear SD. FI is nothing but your finance. SD stands for sales and distribution. You see, MM is for material management. You often hear PP, production planning. You will hear LE, logistics execution. You will hear WM, warehouse management. These are the famous modules you hear. Apart from that, there are so many other modules. You will hear PM, plant maintenance. You will hear QM, quality management. You will hear PS, project systems. You will hear some HR, human resources. You will hear FSCM, financial supply chain management. You will hear treasury. You will hear investment management. Counting like this, SAP has somewhere around 300 plus modules, and this keeps increasing and decreasing. 300 plus modules, and I'll tell you some random consultings also. You will have SAP territory module. You'll find you'll find all sort of nonsense modules which you will hear for sure in the future, but the most famous ones are this top six. You can see any company that's going to start the business, they will definitely start with recording the finance data, which is mandatory. You have to do all the balance sheet and profit and loss and submit it to the governments. So whichever country, wherever you're doing business, every quarterly you have to submit the results, and every annually you have to submit the results depending upon the size of the company and the rules and regulations or accounting standards that you have across the countries. That is with respect to finance. But why is SAP famous? Isn't there any other software that can do the level of what SAP can do? The answer is no, there is no other software. SAP is a very tightly coupled software. Tightly coupled with what? With different modules. So I'll tell you the birth of SAP. That will be very interesting. So from there you can understand why SAP has gained this dominance of integration. So this is your SAP was started by five ex IBM employees. So they were working in IBM company, and there was a company called Xerox. So they came to this IBM. Xerox was taking the consulting services, IT services from IBM. So, as part of their day-to-day problem, they were finding very difficulty to integrate the data. So they are not able to link the integration between what is happening in sales. For example, your salesperson has sold some goods to a customer, and now when the payment is made, again the data information has to be collected, the money has to be collected and paid at finance department. So this transfer of information between one department to another department, for example, you are delivering the goods to your customer, so your logistics team should know when to deliver, what to deliver, from where to deliver, and at what means of delivery. You can deliver through air, you can deliver through land, you can deliver through water, you can deliver through railways. So whichever is feasible and whichever is at less cost depending upon the delivery time. So when does the customer wants the products? He want immediately, or after a week, or after 1 month? Do we have the stock available readily? Your SD team, while selling the product, they have to check with the warehouse management. Do we have the product readily available? If not, they have to inform the details to production planning team. We have an order where customer is asking for 100 vehicles or 100 cars. Kindly request you to schedule the manufacturing of this 100 goods which we have ordered already. So your production planning, whatever the manufacturing schedule for that day, instead of manufacturing some other product, they will delay that and they will manufacture more of this 100 products which we already have an order for. And for that, you have to again check the raw material availability. Your material management should check with the vendors whether the material is available or not on time. And again, your vendors, you should know the capacity of your vendors. Will all your vendors deliver you on the right time, right place, right quality, right cost? So all these are nonsense things which Xerox company was facing when they were taking this IBM software services from IBM. They asked IBM company, So I'm messed up with all this different departmental activities. Why don't you develop an application for me where you can simplify and the data is transferred easily across the departments, so I can rely on the application rather than just physically handing out and passing the information across the departments. So this IBM, okay, they took this problem statement and they started developing the application. But in the process, they have encountered that there was some difficulty or whatever the reason, it is called off. And this five SAP people who were part of that project, they found this problem statement interesting. Okay, if Xerox is facing the issue, then surely all the other companies across the globe might be facing the same issue. And that's how they decided, let's develop an application to the world which can cater that services. That's how they developed first SAP version product, that is SAP R2 version. Say SAP R2 is a black screen. You know this good old days, you only see this command prompt kind of screen. Every application is developed on this black screen. There were some famous programming languages like COBOL, DIBOL, and basically these are called mainframe systems. So I don't know how many of you people are from technical background and how many of you are from non-technical background. So this is an R2 application where you never had any glossy user interface, no colors, nothing. If you want to write a window, if you want a new window to be created in the system, there is no user interface. User interface was pretty boring. It's all black and white. And if you want to develop an interface, you will develop like this. Suppose if you want to develop login, now login button will be like this. I'll tell you how funny it looks like. For example, this is how it looks like. And here you have to type everything, all this, generate 10 stars with this and this spacing, this, and this is how you have to develop login. And in the system, you might be wondering, all your F keys are there, right? Function keys, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, 11, 12. All the function keys were used as the shortcuts. In good old days, there were no mouse, this mouse scrolling is not there. There is no UI, no button clicks. If you want to go to the previous screen, you can create the shortcuts like F1. This is for help. And you can create F2. This is for go back to previous screen. Like that, you all used to have F screens. And this is a pretty boring. That time they developed this SAP application where in the front end you have this screens developed like this. In the back end you had data stored in flat files. Nowadays you see the data stored in rows and columns, like how you see it in an Excel sheet. In an Excel sheet, the if you take the employee data, so you'll find, okay, employee name, employee ID, you will have the department to whom they belong to, and there one by one all the records will be in serial. But in good old days, all the employee data, suppose if Ram data is filled here, then immediately Sham data is filled here only next to Ram. But now in latest you will have Ram, then next Sham. Now you have fixed length and all. But in flat files, everything is in sequence. All the data related to Ram will be written here, like employee ID 1234, and then a department belonging to finance. Like that, everything is written in sequence, and then Sham comes. And again, Sham's data is written like that. Everything is in sequence in flat file. This is the first SAP application that was developed. Then after, yeah, as days evolved, computers has evolved, new programming versions evolved, and that's when you had this three-tier application called R3. Here, entire world, across world, your software engineering has taken a shape, and here we had presentation layer. Every software application is built on this application layer, and then you have your database layer. So anyone who uses this now has user interface. The presentation layer is the where you can give the input, and you can get the input and output details from the screen. So this is usually developed with your HTML, your web pages. Like if it is a standalone application in your system, you can go with the HTML, XML, PHP. You can have your .NET. You have your Java. Many things are there, right? You can use all of this in the front end screen presentation layer, and it's all colorful now because of all this style sheets. You also have CSS style sheets added to it. Colors, everything is good now. Next layer is your application layer. This is where what you have to do with this input and whatever data you are accepting from the front end business. So this data will be there. That logic is written here. And your SAP application is developed using ABAP programming logic. So ABAP is the programming language that is used for SAP. And then you have your database layer, and this database layer is to which database you wanted to connect to. So database layer connectivity logic is written here. This is how any software application used to develop, and SAP is no exceptions. Your R3 and ECC versions are designed in this direction, and they used to use a third-party database. And now this ECC has took a new shape, that is your S4HANA, where your presentation layer, application layer, database layer. Apart from that, you also have your database also belonging to S4HANA. That is the latest one. So I'll take a pause here. Any questions till now? I would love to hear questions from you because that further enhances our exploration. Anyone? Am I going fast, slow, medium? You want me to pace down? Or am I going slow? You want me to pace up? I'll start asking from one. Anand? Hello. Hi. Hello. Anand? Do you have any questions?
No, no, no.
Okay. So next is Nuke. Do you have any questions? Atinuk Okunoran. I think you are related to Ojo. Am I right? You're on mute. Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. You are sister of Ojo?
Yes.
Okay, hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, same here. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, for now, no, I'm just following everything you're saying. But I think when we are able to practice it, then it will make more sense. But right now, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay, no problem. Any
Yeah.
questions? Let me know. Next, Ayotunde. Hello.
Hi, no question for now. Thanks.
Okay, and next, Manoj. I think Manoj, we have met couple of times. I think I can skip you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prasanta, do you have any questions?
Till now, sir, no.
Priya Singh,
No, sir.
I can skip Stravani. Sonali, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Sudhir, any questions?
No,
Suman, any questions?
No, sir, but one more time, please explain.
You want me to explain which one more time? Whatever.
It's an R by R3.
R3. So,
Yes, yeah,
okay.
yes.
So basically, I'll give an example further to you for understanding. So
Okay.
whenever, let us take your mobile application. Now we see whenever you see a mobile application, in the front end, do you see any programming? No, right? Whenever you just in your mobile phone, you go and click on the app. Do you see any programming visible to you there?
No,
So that application might be created for a purpose. It might be for a game. It might be for, let's keep it simple. Let us say that application is to just let in and out of visitors coming to your home or office or whatever space. Or it is just for say some, let's take Facebook or
okay.
Instagram. So your front end Instagram, you can see some like buttons, you can see some share subs, whatever. I don't know. I'm not an Instagram
Yes,
user.
yes.
I'm an old guy. So you can see that all likes and all share button and all in that Instagram. The front end is all UI generated. That is called your user interface. So where
Okay.
user can do some activity. And does Instagram immediately pop up the data? It can just save it in the front end, or it has to somewhere stored in the database in the back end.
Friend.
It should be stored in the database in the back end, right? So
Yes.
where should I store when the user interface, when he clicks like button, what action should I take? When so and so person uploads an image, what action should I take? That kind of logic is written in the application logic. Okay.
Okay.
And to which database it should go and store. Your application might be connected to several databases, but this respective part of your feature, it should go to which database. So you can have that, and within the database also you'll have a lot of divisions, lot of tables, lot of sections where it should go exactly what action it should do. It should either delete an entry, or it should add a new entry, or it should change the existing entry. There will be many actions that we take. Any application, it takes a hefty amount to build it. Why am I explaining you all this stuff is the engineering involved in the construction of the software has been changed completely. So here, SAP also developed from black screen to it developed to a user interface. That is where we log on. The SAP is developed with log on. SAP log on is the user interface we have to access the SAP software. And does anyone had a prior experience in accessing SAP system over here?
So,
Anyone has access? Anyone has a chance? Did you get a chance to see the SAP software in the past?
no.
No?
Yes, sir. I
No, sir.
had a little bit of, I've gone through a little bit of part of it. Long back, I've taken some trainings.
Okay.
So, the ECC part I've seen, I mean, I've gone through a little bit of it.
Okay. Then. Nice, Arun. Glad to hear that. Now, let me
And
just
sir, I'm also using SAP. Basically, I'm logging through Fiori.
cool. Yeah. So, since you guys logged on, so you had one of you, Akash Anand, and the other one is Tarun. You both had mentioned that you access the software. One logged in with SAP ECC. For SAP ECC, you use SAP Logon, and for SAP S4 HANA, SAP has provided with another latest version, that is SAP Fiori. So today we are living in the world of applications. Gone are the days where you use the desktop or software desktop to access any software. In good old days, if you want to access any application, you used to open your laptop or desktop, go open the application and do the activity. But today everything is mobile apps driven. So SAP want to also leverage that feature, and they don't want everyone who wants to access SAP, it is not mandatory thing. They need to have a desktop or laptop. They can log in from any device that supports a web browser. So SAP Fiori can be accessed just via web link. All you will be given is web link. How they have designed it is, if you go to SAP, SAP has some lakhs of screens. I'm not telling hundreds or thousands. It has lakhs of screens. Lakh. So this lakhs of screens, it is varied across different modules. As an employee, I entered some organization. Suppose let us say I joined as an employee in a finance department. So I'm the business end user. So SAP is bought by, let us say, Apple company bought the SAP software. So what are all the details related to Apple initial setup that has to be done by the consultants? They have understood how Apple company works, how many manufacturing plants they have, how many countries they are operating. All the details they took from some 3 months or 6 months. They took all the business requirement and did all the initial setup in the SAP. That is nothing but called as implementation project. When you are doing something for the first time, when you are installing SAP for the first time in your organization, that is called a greenfield implementation, starting everything from green scratch. You are doing everything from scratch. It's going to be called as greenfield implementation. So I joined an organization, Apple, which has implemented all the SAP. Now I am a employee working in some store of Apple where I am selling the Apple devices, be it a laptop or anything related to MacBook or anything related to Apple. I am selling the devices. While I am selling the devices, so there is a sale happened. Now I have to record it in the SAP system. So I'll be given access only to that particular location where I am an employee of. Apple company might be spread across the world. It might be in US, it might be in UK, it might be in Australia. But what part of in within the finance department or within the sales department or within the logistics department, what are the activities? What is the level of an employee? In the finance department, if you take, there will be starting from CFO, you will have the basic accounting. There will be many people, hierarchical structures, junior accountant, senior accountant, lead accountant. There will be many roles of hierarchies. All these people, they don't need the access to each and every screen. If I give the access of each and every screen to everyone, what happens? As a company, any employee can mislead me and take the information out of the company if I give the full access of entire organization. Even though the CFO will not be given the full access, even the CEO will not have the full access. So this is called some security and compliance policy that companies do maintain. So if they will not, even the manager will not have the full access. So if a manager is given a task of downloading some data from the system and the request comes to the employee has to take the approval of the manager, then only he can download the data. Such kind of security and compliance restrictions will be there in the organization. Why I'm saying all of this is, within finance, if there are some thousands of screens, as an employee, I might be restricted only to some accounts payable process, accounts receivable process, asset accounting process. Within that, again, I might be only specifically dealing with the payments processing. I'm not dealing with anything else related to the vendor. I'm only dealing with the payments part of the vendor. So I will be given access only to that particular 5 to 6 options or 10 options. And in SAP Logon, which is the old system, like if you remember, you guys, if you have got a chance to log into Windows XP or you Windows 7, where you go to the system, you go to the start button. From start button, you see the path, like you see all the clock and all. For example, let me share the screen. If you see the old systems, you have to go to Windows. From Windows again, here also everything is written as apps only. Everything in Windows 10 is apps. If you click on this again, you see sub options again. Inside this again, sub options like that. There used to be path like of structure in old systems. Whereas in your latest system, Windows, everything is apps. If you see here, you can see all of them stored in the app. File Explorer is an app, Movies is an app, Microsoft Store is an app, Edge browser is an app, Skype is an app, Outlook is an app. Everything is created in the system as a app. If you go here, all these are called apps. All these are nothing but apps. Earlier, it's called application, but nowadays they cut size the name, they have cut down the name, and they have keeping it for quick access. I'll give you another example. If you guys want to access Instagram, do you go and open a web browser and type www.instagram.com, or you will just open your mobile and click on the Instagram logo? You do the second one, right? So that's what they have got in Fiori. You don't have to go through the paths. You don't have to do all the way. You don't have to traverse through the paths. Your SAP old system is like paths. You have to take the path, this uh, you have to take the options, like you have to traverse from one second. Where is my whiteboard? Guys, can you see the whiteboard?
No, sir.
Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Even I'm shocked. I cannot see my whiteboard. Where is it? Okay, there is a pop-up again. Fine. You can see it now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So this Fiori is full of apps. Whatever activity the respective person individual has to do, only those apps will be visible on his or her screen. There is no other app you can see. Whereas in log on, you will see all SAP options. When you try to access it, it will say you don't have authorization. This is like you will see all the SAP options. Here you will only see what is allocated to you. Fiori, in case of Fiori. Now coming to this R3 software, this presentation layer is the one which can show this user interface. So this is basically your user interface. And nowadays we also have Fiori consultants who are developing the apps or creating the new applications in the system, like your Android and iPhone Apple Store apps. In SAP, you can have a person called Fiori consultant who will develop the apps. The apps are of two types. Already SAP provides you some apps. You can, like how you go and download from the App Store or Play Store. You can also download the apps from SAP will provide you some, every app will have an app ID. So you can download the app ID and you can get it installed in your, suppose you bought a 2021 version SAP. And but now your government, you are in 2025, your government has announced some regulation. It will say 2025 you have to use, but that app is not available in your system. You can download it from SAP support portal and you can install it in your system. Okay. You bought a 2021 software. Obviously, 2021 software will not have the latest announcements made by the government. All of a sudden, your finance minister of your country will wake up from her or his dream and they will announce new things, like your Trump, who is just playing a ping ball with everyone, right? Same way, every country they keep announcing and they will keep changing the laws. There will be change in governments, there will be change in policies, and whenever they make a change, your businesses across the globe, you should get accustomed to that changes and you have to make the changes in your SAP system accordingly, meeting the business requirements. Now, ABAP is the ABAP consultant will write the programming. So SAP is a standard software. It's like, for example, you got a mobile phone with already operating system installed in it. So you have an iPhone, you will have an iOS, you have an Android software, Android phone, you'll have the Android operating system already available. If suppose you your phone doesn't have some particular options in the operating system, you wanted to add some additional features in it, you can do it. That is called your customization. You can do that writing of new programs. SAP already comes with the standard programs available. Apart from that, your company wants some additional field to be added in the screen which SAP is not providing. You can customize it. You can add your own. You can write the logic. Your ABAPers will do that. But 99% of the times, you will use all the standard options available in the system. Only 1% of the chance you go for the customizations. And if you go for cloud versions, there is no customization at all. There is a zero customization, a recommendation made by SAP for that. And that's why people go for hybrid. Nowadays, all the companies, what they are planning is cloud is like, I'll tell you what is the advantage with cloud. For example, if you want to buy a home, it is a very expensive. You all got SAP jobs and now you are moving to a new city. And you, for your job purpose, daily you have to commute to the job and you have been to the new city. All of a sudden, if you want to have a house, it is going to be super expensive. And sometimes you might also feel that what is the point in buying a home? I'm here just to do a job for a temporary purpose. Later on, I might relocate to a different location. So but you wanted a house for now to stay. You wanted a big flat apartment where you wanted to go and stay. Instead of buying it, you can rent it out. You get the same features, right? Of what, if you own a house, what flat you can get. If you rent also, you can get the same features. Imagine now, same way, if you are having SAP, if you are installing the SAP on-premise, it's like buying the full SAP software setup. All of a sudden, if you decide that I don't want this configuration, the current server is very slow, I want to increase the size of the hard disk or HDD or your drive space. Can you do that in a physical system that easily? You cannot do the scaling. But whereas all of a sudden, if you want to just increase the size and load, your HDD has to be completely changed with the new one. But whereas in cloud, you can just say, please add another 1 TB or a 10 TB of data disk to my existing operating system. You can actually do that with in cloud. That is the advantage we have. Okay. So this is your, I think, Shravan, right? Shravan is the one who asked me the question. Shravan, you are there?
Suman sir, Suman sir.
Suman. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is your question clarified now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have to ask, Temitop, you had any questions? You have any?
No, sir.
No. But sorry, is it possible for you to send share the record, because I joined a little bit late and I'm a bit lost. So if I can go to the recording, I think I'm gonna get the teaching.
No worries. In the beginning part, you missed it. You will get the recording to go through the session. So
Okay, thank you.
this is the first session taken by me. So I'm asking individually. Going forward, I will not be able to ask individually. I would recommend all of you to type in the chat. When you had some question, please type in the chat. I'll be seeing it in the whatever question you are mentioning. I'll go through the chat and immediately include in my conversation. Do not hesitate. Just type
Okay.
whatever you feel. I want you guys to just type in the chat. I have a dual screen. On the second screen, I will be watching all your chat conversation. Okay?
Okay, okay, sir.
So going forward, I think hope you have enjoyed. If there are no questions, I'll wind up here. So in the next session, I'll be talking related to the business process. So what are the different business flows that we are going to activate in the SAP system with respect to finance? Okay, I'll be talking more about the role of finance in the SAP in the next session. Any questions, any one of you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, then hope you enjoyed my session. Any suggestions you want to make? I will change myself accordingly. If any suggestions, please share with Upskeeling so they will let me know. See you guys. See you tomorrow.
Thank
Okay,
you,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.